Yes. Now, I do want to ask you. Well, first, I want to ask you about two things. One of my favourite stories with you is about a box of Weet Bix.
You sure you want to talk about the Weet Bix?
I do want to talk about the Weet Bix because I've actually mentioned this on my broadcast a couple of times because I love it. But I want you to tell me the story.
Okay. When you're in breakfast radio and you start at 4 o'clock on a Monday morning preparing your show and stuff, then you don't want to go back out for breakfast. And at the old B105 4BK, it had
Bowen Hills,
concertina files for the singles, the vinyls from the past.
It was when we had a music library where we actually had music in it.
Yeah, and they were vinyls though, so no one went back to them. And they were on rails, and they were from A to Z. And I hid my Weet Bix under W, which I thought was quite clever.
Oh, very clever.
Yeah. So I put my bag of Weet Bix in there under W, and I got there one Monday morning and pulled the file open along the rails, and then I got the box and had a look, and there was no Weet Bix in it, but I'd left 4 in there on the Friday. So I knew
someone had been in them.
Someone had been into my Weet Bix, and I was a bit cheesed. So I got through that week, and then the Friday comes, because that's when they took them. And I emptied out my Weet Bix packet to leave 4 in there. But before I left them in there, I went into the men's, and I stuck each one of them up between my butt cheeks. And I baked them. I literally baked them. I put them between my bum cheeks.
I love it.
You know where the gam is?
Yeah. Not that I've done it, but I'm with you.
When you think about it, I'll explain my butt cheeks. For 69 years now, my butt cheeks have been going. Sometimes I'd run. Sometimes I'd jump.
And then?
Sometimes I'd do star jumps. Sometimes I'd hurdle. Yeah. So anyway, they were well used. I put those Weet Bix up there one at a time, and I honestly baked them for a minute or so each. Then I put them back in the Weet Bix bag, and I put them back under W. And I had the weekend, and I got there at 4 o'clock on the Monday morning, and I opened the concertina file. Went in under W, and they were gone. Oh, I smiled. I knew that whoever had eaten them Weet Bix.
Oh, stop! It's the best. Had been up your and I think you had the story on air, right?
Yeah, I did. I got there on the Monday, and then I told the story of what happened. And generally at state school, they used to say, "First smell, first stink."
Yeah.
You know,
who?
If you, Marnie, goes, "Did you fart?" And then we all know that you did. Yeah, but you're just trying to pass it over to us.
Exactly. In case somebody else smells something and it's unsavoury.
So I told that story.
And who?
I said they were gone. The first call came from Jamie Angel, who's now, he hates me saying this story.
Does he?
Yeah, because his missus, for one of his birthdays, she said he hates this story because Kyle Sandland's got hold of it, and everyone has used this.
We've all talked about how good this is because this was the ultimate.
Yes. Oh my God!
So he calls, and what did he say?
He said it wasn't me, and
hang on, where's Shaggy?
I want to go.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. So he has lived with that his whole life. But that's the sort of person I am, though, eh?
Absolutely. That's what I mean. I wouldn't cross you because you'd have a
crossing.
crack.
It's not.
No, but don't take your Weet Bix. If I came and said to you, Jamie, I'm hungry, I'm taking your Weet Bix, I'd tell you. Yeah. Done.
This is the sort of person I am. I was going to Perth for the telethon with Anne-Marie. We were in 1A and 1C, up the pointy end of the plane. So she sits down and she goes, she's bought this book, and we're flying, what is it, 4, 5, 6 hours or something?
Where you go? Oh, Perth when they do the telethons. Yeah, right.
So from when we took off, she's gone, oh, this is such a good book. Seriously, Jamie, you should get this. This is funny. And then she goes back to it, and half hour later, so oh, Jamie, this is such a good book. You should get this book. And this is what happened all the way to Perth. Anyway, we're I suppose about an hour out of Perth, and she falls asleep.
Oh, you're like, thank Christ.
So while she was asleep, I took her book and I tore out the last 2 pages. I tore out the last 2 pages, and about 2 weeks later she rang me and said, "You're a bastard," because she knew it was me. Oh, God.
Was that good?
Yeah, it was
was
good.
great.
But I think I've been like that for a long while because when I was in bands, we had Peter Case was our keyboard player, and he's quiet, introverted, very quiet man, and he was too nervous to put the assistance button on, to get the hostess down. Yeah. He wanted a pillow, but he was too nervous to push the button. Anyway, she went past. I didn't push the button. She went past and I went, Mong! And she stopped and looked around. And he's going to me, don't, Jamie, please don't. She walked back past me, Mong! He's going, Jamie, please don't do it. I said, I won't do it. Then I pushed the button when she was just coming up to us. I pushed the button and she came up and says, can I get you something? And he's going, could I? Yeah, I know, it's terrible. Can I get a pillow?
Terrible.
I know. I would have thought we would have worked together by now, you and I.
Well, I would have thought the same thing. And I might